Allison for Leading Edge Dog Show Academy, and today, to answer one of the questions we get the absolute most here is, when do I use a big K or when do I use a big G? Well, if you are not familiar with these two slicker brushes, both these brushes are by Chris Christensen, and they are both really great de-shedding tools as well as de-matting tools, and they can get a lot of volume into the coat. And people are always asking us kind of the differences and also when they would use each one. The main difference is that the big G has 30% more pins than the big K in each and every size. Each one of these brushes comes in the size big, medium, and baby. So when would you use a G versus when would you use a K? Well, the answer is kind of whenever you want. So they are both great de-shedders, they're both great de-matters, and they both create a lot of volume. I like to use the K when I am using a dog that has a very, very dense coat. So, for example, if we go through each one of the coat types and think about it like this, I would use a big K on a black Russian Terrier. This is a scissored, continuously growing coat type because they have that very, very dense coat. This would help me keep it mat free. This would also help me create a lot of volume. Now, a poodle, also a scissored coat type, I would use a big G because their coat isn't quite as dense, and I feel with the 30% more pins, the brush is doing 30% more work with the same amount of effort by me. If I was grooming an Alaskan Malamute, I would most likely use a big G unless it was very, very densely matted or shedding a lot. Then I would use the big K because with fewer pins, it's going to slide through that coat a little bit easier. And if we think of other double-coated breeds like a Shetland Sheepdog, I might be using a baby G on a very heavily coated dog, and I might be using a baby K on a dog that was really shedding and I really needed some more help to get that coat out of there. So when I am thinking about the amount of work, the amount of loose hair that needs to come out of that coat, when I'm doing a lot of de-shedding, I'm going to use the big K. When I'm doing a lot of de-matting, I am going to use the big G. So these brushes are really interchangeable. You can't really go wrong picking one brush over the other regardless of coat type. What I would suggest is that if you own one, you maybe try the other one to see if you have a personal preference. Now, when it comes down to deciding exactly what brush we would recommend, obviously with all the dog breeds that are out there, that makes our job a little bit more difficult, but you can look out for a document from us that is going to list every breed and what big G or big K we would recommend for that coat type. Now, for some of these breeds, we are going to list maybe both brushes, one as the primary brush and one as the brush to use if they are going through that shedding or dematting period. But for the most part, very heavily shedding dogs, very thick, dense coats, you are going to use the K. And when the coat isn't shedding as much and is matting, or you need the more volume created in an unmatted coat, I am going to use the big G. Now, it is very, very important to know that these tools should be used on older dogs. You know, I wouldn't use them on my 8-week-old puppy up until about 4 months of age. I'm going to use maybe a mark slicker at that point. But anytime after 4 months of age, introducing one of these tools to your dog and to your grooming regime is really, really going to help you get the desired results. One of the things I want you to remember is that Whether you buy a big G or a big K, you're not going to make the wrong decision. Like I said, a lot of times it is personal preference over which one of these brushes you use. That's why they're the #1 and #2 grooming brushes that are out there, because it does come down to personal preference. Maybe if you are finding that you're getting some fatigue from using a brush in those denser coats and you're using a G, you might want to switch to a K. Maybe when you're getting volume, you think it's taking you too long to get the desired amount of volume with the K, switch to a G. So in any case, you're not going to make the wrong decision. Both tools can do the same job. It is up to the user and the density of the coat. That is really when these two brushes side by side, you could get a little bit of difference in performance. But for the majority of people, personal preference, choosing either brush, they're gonna work for you. Hey everyone, thanks for watching today's video. Please leave us a comment below, let us know what you thought, and as well, if you have any ideas for future content that you'd like to see, you can put them down there as well. You can head over to leadingedgedogshow.academy.com where you can find our free, premium, and subscription content, and we'd love to have you join us there. As well, don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on those notifications. That way you never miss another free video tutorial. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.